Hello and welcome to another Oregional Odoo app video. This time we are going to talk about our VIES API app, which is a connector to the European Union's tax information system. If you have a little time, then stick around for the first about 8 minutes where we install the app, go through the main features, talk about use case. After that, we will go deeper into details. And if you watch it till the end, you will get some tips about how to use the app on a free plan forever. So let's get started. So once you made this app available on your system, you can install it the usual way. Go to apps, make a search for VIES, and click activate. Once it is installed, you will see an icon. The visibility of this menu icon depends on permissions. So quickly take a look at the permissions. By default, the system administrator user gets VS Manager permissions, so you can do anything. You have three options here. Don't give anything. It means that even though if users don't have VS permissions, they can still read or see records, but they don't see icons, buttons, and convenience things. And they also don't see the main icon. If you give VS user, they can perform most of the tasks except for configurations and deleting some of the records, and the manager gets full access. So that's the point. So VS, let's go into the menu. You have some menu items, we will go through them, but first let's configure a connection. So you go to configuration, new application, and you can just create a new connection. This environment type, check our video about Oregional VIES and Oregional API based apps to get an understanding. Basically, we like to know what environment you are in. Is it a production or a test, or development, whatever, non-production, that's the point. Actually, VS only has one production system, so there is not much to decide here. Check, save, and here we go. We have this new connection set up. As you can see, we are on the free plan. The free plan means that you can have at one point of any time 40 active VS checks in your system, and you can only query as the current company you are in. In the standard subscription, you can have unlimited checks and you can query as any requester, but we will talk about that. And in the end of the video, we will discuss how you can remain on your free plan forever. When you install, please register your license, because this will give you access or keep your license valid. So you just click register license and save. You will get an API key from us, and your license will be valid for a year. So that's it. Now let's come to the main items. First of all, you have a documentation. Like all documentations, it's always evolving and changing, so you can check back. But you can find information and actually some little technical ones, but I want to show you the three main services the VS is providing. So the other side, the European Union service, it gives you an endpoint to check what numbers. This is the main business usage, and there are two more status checks, so-called, like is it working at all and what is the status. How it works is that every member state of the European Union sends data to this central VS system. And sometimes one of the countries goes offline when you want to check, or they have some issues. So you can check if Hungary or Germany or France or Belgium is currently actively sending data to VS. You can find here videos, comparison with what is in Odoo and some links. So go check it. And this checks menu, these are the, this will list all the checks that you've made to VS. Check what number is a quick access button, a quick wizard to check one or more text numbers via the API. So, for example, we're gonna do a quick check. I'm gonna select this partner who has a Hungarian VAT number. We don't know anything yet about its VS status, so we are going to make a, and we are requesting as the company. This is a difference that on the free plan you can only initiate request SEO. So what is the, this is the result of a query, what we got back from the VS authority. We get an identifier, and this is the, this was the main reason, the use case for this app. Let me go back to the documentation and read this business case note quickly. So the main reason why we developed was that when you make a VAT declaration and you have reverse charge bills, like or customer invoices, when you put it into your declaration, you have to be sure, it's your job to make sure that those European tax numbers are valid. And how you can prove it, or how the accountants are doing it, is that here is the link also. They go to this website where you can type in the trader, your partner, which state, what is the number, and you can add your data. So you add the requester, your company, and your VAT number. And if you provide both, you get back this request identifier from VS. And this is the way to prove that your company did actually ask if the VAT number is valid. It's mainly for audit purposes and for the accountants' confidence in the data that is supplied to the VAT declaration. So actually, it's a very tedious task. If you have hundreds of bills, you come here and like a machine, you add and verify and add. It takes hours for a VAT declaration if it's a large customer. So this was the main case why we developed, because Odoo only checks Odoo VS, but it doesn't send requester and we cannot report on it. The main feature is that when you run these checks, you can come to reports and you can create a new report. Like let's check what we did today and what kind of checks you want to run it on the VAT numbers and everyone. And the point here is to print out a PDF file that you can store or show your auditor that we did check these watts. You would have like hundreds here at a given time. So basically, this was the quick overview. Here I went through the menus, reporting. These are just quick listings. The generated PDFs you can quickly filter. We can go through countries and you see countries are none. So in the applications, actually, we can run here the status. You can always enter a comment like why you are running it. You can rate a search and report on it. So this is like a status report. How is the connection to countries? What is the status ratio? So is everything available or not? And you see it updated the status of the countries. Is it okay now or not at this point of time? It's interesting if you don't get back reports. You can quickly link your customer invoices and vendor bills. What is their status? Oh, maybe quickly go through this. Let's make quickly an invoice like here. First of all, you need to enable VS checking on journals. So here you in the journals you have customer invoices I want to enable. You can make checks mandatory or optional. So now that I enabled, I come back to this invoice. Now I have a VS button. So this is like an invoice I want to issue, but you can think the same way about vendor bills when you load it in your system. You can click here and make a quick check. If it becomes green, it means that at this time this is okay. And you can come back here in the history and see the latest check. If you take a look, you can see that the first one, only the latest one is active. The other ones are archived. And here I just made a check from the customer's data record. So there is no link to account move. But this time I checked it because of this account move. So if I come back here, I can see the check type is the account move. I want to see the whole history. This one will appear. And if I make a new report, I could run the same report again, but let's make a new one. I want to see everything. Yeah, let's just print it out. Oh, sorry. Yeah, print. And now you will see the request identifier, but I forgot to check that I want to print the account move and the partner as well. You could filter here per account move, per partner, but it doesn't matter now for this demo. And now you have a much more detailed printout. You can show that you check this at that time, it was true, and because of this invoice. So yeah, this is the report. The rest is just check the API messages. If you log them, what was happening. And in the configuration, we have the report layout, like what is the paper format. For the PDF, you can check the scheduled action. You can schedule to check periodically the partners. Yeah, don't need it now. We have some system parameters and also the system logs if logging is turned on. So yeah, it's a little longer than 8 minutes, sorry, but we went through all the main items. Now we will go to more detailed talk. So let's continue. We made an overview of the system, and now let's dive a little deeper into uh, the features. So as discussed, the main reason here is to be able to make requests logged in the EU database as well, that you were querying somebody. But you can do actually more things. Uh, you can query, well, if you go to the wizard, you can also query any uh, tax or VAT number that you wish. And you can change even the requester. And once you make a query for for a partner, let's just query this partner again. Here you have some options on the top. Odoo has this feature that you can share partners among companies. So that's like a interesting dilemma, how you want to handle it. Is it a shared contact book, or is every partner just belongs to one company? And, for this scenario, we have this parameter is like you can disable automatic checking for a company if you want. Or what do we want to do with no company partners? So that are shared. Do you want to use it or ignore it for this? And how many history we want to, because the job is also cleaning up old records per partner, and how long you want to see the history of a partner. So these are some checks here. And when we made a query, as you see, you don't get much info back from VS. You get a name and you get an address basically. But in certain cases, this could be enough. Oh, and here in the bottom you can see the actual response, like the raw response that we received. And here we have a manage partner button. The point here is, the feature is that you can create new partners from data that you downloaded from VS. So you can just type in a text number, and you can get you can fill up basically your contact book if you want. If we take a look at the partner record, what do we see here? It also has a VS button. If you click on it, it's only visible to VS users. So if you don't want others to see it, you can hide it with group membership. So you can initiate a brand new uh, query, and you can check the history of what was happening with this partner in the means of VS validity. We also always show the latest that we know of that was successful. So it's maybe important to know that only the successful ones are counting, or updating this one. So imagine that you start the cron job and it's checking like every hour or every day. 60, there is a batch for it. So if you have thousands of custom or contacts, we don't want to flood the systems That's why we have this system parameter for the Chrome batch. It takes by default 64. And how do we know which ones to check next? It's because we store the timestamp when it was last checked. So it goes from the oldest 64, it's checking again. History logged means that we are not deleting the history. If you want to keep for this particular partner all the VS check history, you enable it, and the job will not delete the earlier items. As I said, in the system parameters, we have this history limit. You can switch it off with this one. You type disabled, then the cron will skip deleting for all partners. So yeah, what do we have here? If you click on this, it's just a very quick rechecking. So now we have more checks actually. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Here you can list the checks, the related, open the wizard, and finally you can check all the API messages that was initiated for this partner. Okay, we check the invoice thing, so you can initiate VS check on the customer invoice vendor bill. You can do it on a partner. You have a background job that can recheck everything, and we can make a checking odoo SE. Let's check odoo SE. So we have Belgium. This is the number, and I want to check it as myself. Now, what as we see, MS unavailable. So I was checking odoo SE, but currently Belgium is unavailable. Let's see when we checked last time, we can see Belgium is unavailable at this point. So yeah, let's see if Belgium is maybe back on its feet. Azt mondja, hogy recheck. Check B. Of course, you cannot check one country. It checks all the statuses, and Belgium is still offline. But it was useful to switch it off comments. We can see the comments, and actually you can search on it if you typed in something. So yeah, this is how you would do a manual check and how you can see if something is offline. Okay, and the final note is about the subscription. So the idea here is that here in the VS checks, if we from this VAT number check, which is the main business usage, on the free plan you can have maximum 40 active at one time, and it will not initiate new requests until you have more than 40. You can either reduce this number or buy a subscription. So actually if you want to stay on the free plan and it is enough for you to make requests only as your company, you can just come here, select and archive. And this will free up your quota, so to say. You still have all the records, but you have to come here and archive VS checks. That's how you can stay on the free plan. One final note about why is this interesting. This is interesting for the advanced plan, the standard subscription, that you can make queries as not only as your company, but as some other company. It's useful for accounting companies or when you are making administration on behalf of another company, that you can just, for example, upload an Excel list or have partners in your system and periodically check on behalf of someone else. So you could write here a Luxembourg company and then this will be the requester, and then you can send them a PDF or something that, look, we checked on behalf of you all these hundreds of companies. So this is like an advanced use case. Okay, yeah, I think we covered most of the topics. Please check the documentation or watch this video again. You can reach us at our support site if you have issues, and thank you for taking your time to look at this video. See you in another one.